special prices. You'll save up to $3,000 on all hot tubs and swim spas, as well as $1,500 on all saunas and cold plunges. Use Nebraska football's bye week well by stopping in on September 27th for refreshments and giveaways. That's Bonsall Pool and Spa at 3201 Pioneers Boulevard in Lincoln.
Imagine starting your day with a computer glitch that leaves you feeling stuck, frustrated, and unable to get your work done. You have 1,000,001 things to get done today, and waiting for the tech issue to solve itself isn't one of them. It's time to let Hamilton handle the tech so you don't have to. We help businesses across the state spend more time on what they do best and less time frustrated with office technology. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we're focused on providing custom solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Connect with us today at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
With your weekly high school sports update, I'm Nick Sainert. Capital City Schools had a respectable showing last Friday, with Lincoln High beating South Sioux City 26-21. Lincoln Northeast stayed undefeated and improved to 4-0 with a 35-27 win against North Platte. Lincoln North Star blew out Omaha South 57-8, and in an inner-city matchup, Lincoln East shut out Lincoln Southwest 20-0. We now turn our attention to Week 5 action this Thursday and Friday night, with Lincoln Southeast traveling to number 1 Millard South. Lincoln Northeast hosts number 6 Omaha North, and number 4 Kearney versus number 10 Lincoln East this Friday night. This has been your weekly high school update on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal, because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
You're listening to Bock in the Blackshirt.
Terrell Farley.
Defending Terrell Farley,
who last week in his first start was a holy terror. Number 43.
And Jake Bockoven. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer.
All right, welcome to Bock in the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket, Friday, September the 26th, 2015. Bock, how you doing today?
Oh, fantastic. Looking forward to an excellent college football weekend. A bye week allows you to kind of get some extra stuff done around the house, and so I'm looking forward. I think it's going to be a productive weekend for me.
All right, moment of silence for my man, Matt Virgil. All right, Matt Virgil, former walk-on Husker, passed away yesterday at a young age of 51. Played at the universities from 1992 to 1996, came from Grand Island, All-State in high school, also earned USA Today honorable mention All-American honors while he was in high school from Grand Island. Just seen him this weekend, Bock. Looked good. As usual, bald head, nice red coat. You know, everybody, you know, we see these guys probably once every 10 years or in fact, you can see Virgil most of the time if you go to Omaha.
Yeah.
I mean, but most of the other guys, we don't see that much. When we see these guys, every time we see them, Bock, we always tell them we love them because we do. We played with these guys in college, still friends after a long 30 years, teammates you'll never forget, probably go down with you through your life thoughts. Yeah, he looked good, Bock. He didn't look like he was in any danger, anything like that. Passed away of a heart attack at the young age of 51. He owned a good pizza spot in Omaha, coached at, I think it was Omaha Scott with the Terminator. Helped out with Steve Young over at the Warren Academy. Just was a football guy. I mean, you can't ask for nothing. Always smiling, nice smile, nice person, genuine person. I don't think you can find anybody more loyal than Matt Virgil, and now his time has gone. Rest in peace to Matt Virgil. Good teammate though.
Yeah,
nothing bad to say. You know, you have some teammates you could say some things about. This is one of the guys that always had a smile on his face.
Yeah, and he's obviously a big presence in Omaha, like you were saying. Obviously, too, he would he would kind of break down the Huskers and do his own kind of thing online. We'd come on radio programs up there, in online programs up there in Omaha. So obviously, like you said, just tough for Husker Nation, really, because tough to see it coming. And like you said, just part of the celebration of the 95 team. And you guys had said it, because the situation is that it only pops up every 10 years or whatever. You kind of get to the reunion and guys have, more gray hair or, a little bit of more age in their face and, all that. And, and then, for it just to kind of turn around and the news, this started kind of circulating last night. And to your point too, is just, you see the outpouring of maybe frustration, but also just kind words, and really like nothing that you can, or nothing that has been said that can be seen as negatively toward Matt. So like you said, RIP to him. It's a hit to Husker Nation, certainly again to the Omaha community, and it's thoughts and prayers to his family.
All right, Bock. Let's start the show.
Yeah.
A lot of great football this weekend, Bock. If you leave the house for any reason this weekend, I consider you not a football guy, especially on Saturday.
There's some good games this week.
It starts tonight.
Yeah.
Florida State, Virginia. Friday night football, Bock.
That's funny. That's the one that you're interested in. I like TCU and Arizona State myself tonight.
Florida State. You want to see is it a joke or not? You want to see what Florida State has built. TCU's building a great program, building themselves back up. Probably played in the national championship game, probably 2019, 2000. What was that, Bock?
Oh boy! That was the year before Michigan won. So that was 3 years ago now. So the 2022 season.
Yeah, made it to the college football playoffs. Got beat though, but at the same time, they look like they're making their way back up to the standards of their university and the standards of college football. They're 3-0. They're number 24. They versus Arizona tonight at 8 p.m. on Fox. And then the late night game, you have Houston versus Oregon State, 9:30. Probably be sleep by then, Old man like me likes to get my sleep in, But, it's a great – that's just on Friday, Bock. So when we talk about the rest of these games, you see Florida State plays at 6 p.m. tonight.
Yeah, and I'm surprised looking at that spread, only 6.5. Virginia is 2-1 on the year. They did lose a close game.
3-1.
Or excuse me, 3-1. They did lose a close game to North Carolina State. Destroyed Coastal Carolina and beat Stanford, who hasn't looked too good to this point. So maybe Virginia can give them a run for their money. The interesting part about that to me is, again, Florida State, Thomas Castellanos, the way he started the year with that victory over Alabama, if he can kind of continue that. I've seen a lot of different thoughts about who should be the Heisman leader. John Mateer comes up a lot. Now we're seeing, Mendoza out there from Indiana be one of the leads. But to my point, for what Castellanos started against Alabama, interested to see if he can kind of add more to that. So as of this year, so far, if you look at Castellanos, 594 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. And then he's also have 139 yards on the ground and 3 touchdowns. So, that's not, you look at like Dylan Raiola's stats, not the biggest stats in the world. So you can kind of understand why he might not be up there in the talk at the top of the board, but he is always mentioned because of that start that they had. And if they can continue winning again, as Florida State did a few years ago, he could be in that conversation.
All right, Bock, back to the games. Well, here's a good one right here from Ben on the text groove line. going to make a road trip to Manhattan, specifically bought tickets to sit next to the tunnel where UCF is going to come out, so I can hand Scott Frost a warrant for his arrest for it. Theft of services to the University of Nebraska Athletic Department. That was a good one, Ben. I wasn't thinking about that one this early in the morning. They play Kansas State.
Yeah, and for UCF, I mean, Kansas State's awful right now.
Yeah.
So the UCF, you'd think it's an opportunity. They didn't look great in week one. Obviously, beat down North Carolina and Bill Belichick this past week. So Kansas State's a pretty good opportunity. 11 a.m. kickoff, like he said. I don't know if I think he's joking about handing Scott Frost anything, but if I wonder if he's going down there. There was plenty of talk this offseason about people going there specifically to root. I don't know if they're rooting against Scott Frost, but just to see Scott Frost at UCF.
Probably have some bad signs up for him, too.
Yeah.
You're a thief. You're a thief.
Husker fans bothering him in Kansas City.
Here's the thing, Bock. Let's talk about this right quick for a minute, because this scenario could happen. What if Scott Frost wins the Big 12? What if Scott Frost goes to the CFP? Who do you blame then?
Well,
Who do you blame? Do you say Nebraska is a toxic job, or do you say Scott Frost was a toxic coach? You got to ask those questions, Bock. If Scott Frost goes 9-3, 10-2, who do you blame?
well, I don't know if you blame. I mean, I'd still blame Scott Frost.
Who would look like the more loser then? If Scott Frost has a better record in Nebraska, who would look like the bigger loser then? I bet you that's what he wants to happen, though.
Well, I'm sure he'd have a few words about it. He hasn't been too quiet about his time here at Nebraska otherwise. But, there might have been some things along the way at Scott Frost's regime here that didn't go exactly the way he wanted it to, scheduling wise or whatever it might be. Everybody would like to have a few more bucks that they can spend on a coaching staff, so whatever it might be. But I mean, he got 5 years and too long, more than I think almost anybody would, given the results that he had here. I don't think there's anywhere to point the finger other than Scott Frost at Nebraska. If he wins at UCF, as you're talking about kind of blame there, it might just be a better fit at UCF. I'm not ready to go. I mean, they beat North Carolina. North Carolina's awful. I'm not so sure Central Florida. Like I get the question, but I'm waiting to see if they're even Kansas State's not going to really give them too much of a test for me, because Kansas State looks awful. But then you got Kansas, Cincinnati, later Baylor, Texas Tech, Oklahoma State doesn't look too good. BYU. They obviously got a pretty good opportunity with the amount of teams on the schedule that don't look good to go bowling. But as far as winning the Big 12, that's not even on my radar right now.
All right. Crowbar says, it's been 3 years. Fans needs to get over Frost. Move on. No, I'm not moving on. He ignited another war when he said the things that he said. I mean, only thing he had to do was shut his mouth and coach Central Florida, UCF. No, you coaches, you go to a press conference, you run your mouth about the state of Nebraska, where you're from. You never take a crap on the place where you're from, Bock. You never do.
Yeah.
I don't take craps on Georgia. I would never. I think Georgia has the best football, high school football in the state, in the nation. I think Georgia football players are the best players in the nation. High school, college, that's just my opinion. But when you go and do the things that Scott did and said, I mean, it hurts. It hurts because you played with the guy. You blocked for the guy like Rashawn did. You tackled for the guy like I did. And you coached the guy. That's what Coach Osborne did. So really, it's a slap in the face to Coach Osborne if you think about the things he said, because Coach Osborne wanted you here. He wanted you to do the same thing you did for Oregon, the same thing you did for all the schools you stopped at. He wanted you the same thing you did at Central Florida, but you got here, you took a different direction. You went down instead of up. You went on the elevator and went down 2 flights, and then you came up 1 flight, and you still,
Yeah. I get it. There's going to be some people, some portion of the fan base that does want to move on. And I think there's enough moving. I mean, we're in year 3 of Matt Rule. I think if Nebraska fans are more focused on that than anything that Scott Frost is doing at UCF, but it's the bye week. And so there's always going to be that connection with Scott Frost and curiosity, interest, like you're saying, to see if they can do well, if he can get that going. It's not, obviously at this point there is a question whether he can win in the Big 12, but there's not a question of whether he can win in Central Florida. He already did. Obviously now this next step to kind of winning in the Big 12. That's the challenge that's laid out in front of him. But it's so it's so intriguing to see what kind of happened there, because I still think in Central Florida, whether it was Scott Frost recruiting these kids or not, is they just had a special collection of kids down there that helped them lead to Scott Frost having that wonderful season in 2017 and UCF having that wonderful season. I mean, we saw once Mackenzie Milton left the program, it's a little bit harder to kind of get back to that level. And I should say after he got hurt, because he tried to stick around there a little bit while he was hurt as well. But for the most part, I think there's always going to be a connection. There's always going to be interest. And why wouldn't there be? There would be, regardless of whether he was a coach here at Nebraska or not. If he's a former player, of course, you would also have the idea of, well, is he ever going to make his way back here? Now we don't necessarily have to think that. We think we understand that's already been tried and done. But there's always going to be interest and I'm just quite frankly in the rooting interest, because I think maybe some people would have gotten those tickets to maybe go see Scott Frost in Manhattan and in the Kansas State this weekend, maybe before the season or well before the season, before those comments came out, and thought, you know what, I'm still going to go cheer Scott Frost and I'm going to go watch the Kansas State game. But now I'm interested to see how much of the fan base is actively rooting against Scott. So just a polarizing figure in Nebraska football to continue to be that way.
Yeah, Crowbait, I like this one. He said, Farley, there are a lot of behind the scenes stuff we don't know with Nebraska politics. We're not perfect. Never said it was perfect. But why is Nebraska one of the schools still to struggle after finding a 9-win coach? Would you be happy with Bo still here? But I'm just saying, a 9-win coach didn't do anything wrong, couldn't adapt to probably 3 schools in the Big Ten. Got blown out by all of them.
Yeah, I mean, that's a long. If you're really going back in history there, if Bo could have continued that, then you would have loved it compared to what we've seen since then. But the frustration was mounting at that time to get over the humps that they had at that time in the program, which was to win the big games, or at the very least not get blown out in them. So yeah, I mean, obviously, kind of have seller's remorse there, or hindsight is 2020. It would have been, but I don't know. I mean, the intriguing thing in that question is, would Bo Pelini have adjusted and adapted to the changes in college football over the last 10 years? Because it's easy just to say, yeah, they would have won 9 and 10 games because they did for 7 years ago. But again, now, that was a long time ago in college football circles.
Who fired Bo?
Sean Eichhorst.
Is he still here?
No.
Who fired Mike Riley?
Now you're making me think of who was in there.
Moose.
Was it Bill Moose? Yeah.
Could Trev Albert work with Bo Pelini? Football-minded guys? Probably could have worked.
Sure.
Till Trev left. He's a traitor too.
Yeah, that's right. But again, I'm not sure. I mean, Bo had his chance to return to LSU as a defensive coordinator, and that lasted less than 1 year. So I guess my point is, I'm not sure. And I'm a big Bo Pelini supporter. I'm not saying any otherwise, but I'm not sure if it would have extended to the year 2025 that he would have kept that 9-10 win season going.
Okay, but I like this one right here, Joe B. Bo did get blown out by 3 schools in the Big Ten, but he also beat those 3 schools.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's different responses here on the text line to Bo Pelini. There's certain games. I don't know if he's talking about, you look at the certain schools that you're talking about, Wisconsin, Ohio State, but one win against them and in the timeliness of those wins, or Ohio State when Luke Fickell was coach for that 1 year. The Wisconsin game, you did beat them at home once, but then lost to them in the Big Ten title game in blowout fashion. Obviously, couldn't beat them in the other seasons. And again, under Bo Pelini, those games were lopsided, not the close ones that kind of rip your heart out at the end, but the ones that really kind of embarrassed Nebraska as a program. So that's it's got. I don't know how we got to Bo Pelini on here, but It's not perfect. I know there was a text too about, maybe the football gods are still punishing Nebraska for having fired 2 9-win coaches and Frank Soldier.
Oh, they fired you for more than that.
We can go back to that.
They're doing it for more than that, Bachman. Treatment of former players, treatment of everything, just the way football is.
Well, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I hopefully the punishment from the football gods is over or going to be ending soon. And I don't put, again, all this history is kind of fun to talk about. And we can look at past mistakes that all these different athletic directors made. But, to some of the text line earlier that was kind of saying we should move on and kind of focus on the future. I mean, that's what actually is going to impact Nebraska now is Matt Rule's program. Nothing to do with Bo Pelini. Nothing really to do with the past or football gods, as we call it. They need to focus on beating Michigan State and taking that next step. And as Nebraska can kind of rise up and hopefully continue to rise up, all those wounds of the past can kind of heal.
You're right, Bob. You're right. I'll find somebody else to target next when we come back.
Yeah, let's target somebody else for the past.
Yeah, I'll target somebody else for the past. It's not Tom Osborne, I can guarantee you that. 93.7 The Ticket, Bock in the Black Shirt. We'll be right back.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
Join LES at 6 p.m. Thursday, October 9th at the LES Operations Center to learn about the utilities' proposed 2026 budget and electric rates and share your input at the annual public meeting. Learn more at les.com.
Need a tractor that works as hard as you do? Whether you're baling hay or feeding cattle, a John Deere 6M or 6R from Landmark Implement is built to handle it all. And right now, you can get 0% fixed rate financing for up to 72 months on new in-stock models. That's 6 years with zero interest on the tractor your operation depends on. Hurry into your local Landmark Implement or visit landmarkimp.com and experience the Landmark difference.
This is your invite to Lincoln's Oktoberfest. On Saturday, September 27th, come to Beer House at 8th and P in the Haymarket from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. for a full day of German fun. Live bands, mouth-watering food, cold brews, and games for every age. Try your hand at Steinholding, Cornhole, or bring friends for Hammerschlagen. Admission is just $9 in advance, and VIP gives you tokens, a Stein, rooftop access, and more. Lincoln's Oktoberfest, where the beer is flowing, the food is sizzling, and the spirit is Bavarian strong. Be there.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
Follow the Huskers to the City of Angels when Nebraska plays at UCLA in November. Book your official Nebraska alumni travel package at huskerfantravel.com. Choose from 2 or 3 night options that include a hotel in scenic Santa Monica, an exclusive welcome event, game day transportation, and the official Husker Huddle pregame party. Add on your game tickets for an optional upgrade. Transportation to and from LA is not included. Join the official Nebraska alumni trip to see the Huskers play at UCLA. Spots are limited, so book your trip now at HuskerFanTravel.com.
Prashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious Nebraska-made products? Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska wants to highlight you, the listener, on the 93.7 The Ticket Wall of Fame at the store. Stop by the store at 48th and R in Lincoln and see their huge variety of small batch gourmet jerky. Or if you're not in the area and want to try some, go to smokinggunjerky.com and enter code EARLY for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
Big news, Nebraska. Love Omaha is now Love Nebraska. This is more than just a new name. It's a tribute to what Nebraska represents in the world of volleyball. It's still the same team with the same mission, led by players you know and love. Now backed by a new ownership group led by Jordan Larson. As Love Nebraska, they're entering an exciting new chapter, pushing for a championship title in 2026 and building new opportunities for the next generation of players across the state. They want you with them. Let's show the world how Nebraska plays volleyball. Join the movement at lovneb.com and sign up to become a Love Nebraska Insider today.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the second season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball. You're listening to Bock and the Blackshirt on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Bock and the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. We are powered
by
Bauer,
Infrastructure,
Bauer,
Underground,
Barrett.
Excavating.
Shout out to the Bauer guys out there working hard. Let's stay on track, Bock. I got off the track a little bit with the Scott Frost talk, but let's go back to some of these games this week. Now, USC, Illinois. We could drive there in the morning, Bock. We could drive there at 5 o'clock in the morning, Bock. We can get to Illinois. Tickets are $25.
Yeah, that's not too bad, yeah.
We'll be back by 12 o'clock that night. When you look at this game, Bock, can Illinois try to gain back respect? Because they lost a lot of respect last week.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long way to go to get back from a 63-10 loss. Now, we did see it last year. Again, Nebraska unfortunately has some experience having gone through this, right? Lost to Indiana 56-7 the next week. We're right there to compete with the national champions. Didn't quite beat Ohio State, but right there competing with them. So it is possible. Brett Bielema said he'd never been a part of anything like that. So bit shell-shocked. Illinois, I mean, Indiana just is I mean, they're the talk of college football because of that win. And so we'll see. Illinois got a big task ahead of them. Like you said, it is big noon. So the advantage there, at least for them, is that USC is playing at 9 o'clock local time for USC. So fans out in Los Angeles are going to wake up right out of bed and have some USC football on. So that'll be a bit of an adjustment for them. But I mean, I don't expect Illinois to win this game one way or the other. I mean, I think USC has a lot of firepower. They've been looking very good. Jaden Mayava is going to be tested. Illinois generally has a decent defense, but again, once the week after you go up 63 points, it's hard to tell. I wouldn't be surprised if this game is closer than what people think.
Could be a field goal.
That loss, but I do think USC is going to win.
All right, Bob, there's 3 games at 11 o'clock tomorrow. Georgia Tech, Wake Forest, 11. USC, Illinois, 11. Notre Dame, Arkansas, 11. Who do you watch, Bock? Who do Bock watch?
I'll be watching USC in Illinois and maybe checking in there on Notre Dame and Arkansas too. Loser of that game is going to have some pressure on them. Notre Dame, obviously hanging on to their top 25 ranking right now. They don't have another ranked team, I don't believe, other than USC on their schedule down the line. In Arkansas, I mean, we've been talking about for years whether their coach is on the hot seat or not, following a loss to Memphis this past week. Really going to need a win to kind of get his name out of those talks again.
All right, Bock. Next one, 2:30 game. Number 1 Ohio State versus Washington. Number 4 LSU versus number 13 Ole Miss. Number 9 Texas A&M versus Auburn, or Indiana versus Iowa. Out of those 4 games, Bock, who do you watch, Bock?
Boy, that's a lot of good ones. You know me though; I like Iowa's brand of football. I'm very interested to see if they can contain Indiana's offense again. That just put up a boatload of points on Illinois. Now, I'm somewhat expecting that game maybe to get. I mean, if Indiana's up 2 touchdowns, it's gonna be tough for Iowa probably to come back in that game. So I'm gonna start there. Probably before the end of the. If Indiana gets on top too much, might start to head over to some of those other games. Obviously, if Washington can give Ohio State a run for their money, that would be one of big intrigue. But those SEC games, those matchups are really good. I think the best game out of all of those, if I wasn't so intrigued by the Big Ten, would probably be Ole Miss and LSU.
Yeah, but Bock, I want to watch Indiana try to beat the brakes off Iowa.
Yeah.
I hope they do. I hope they beat them like 60-3. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, I will be watching the Iowa game, and will be watching. I might have to go. I say I don't like this, Bock, but I might have to go multi-screen.
Oh, you're gonna go multi-screen.
On some of these games. I'm such a big liar, Bock. You have to understand me. I probably would have to go. I probably have to go with my phone on one game and the TV on the other game.
That's a fair way to do it again, or you can try to jump back and forth, but to have it's just it's a great viewing afternoon for college football. Big matches up in the Big Ten and the SEC. So if you want to stay tuned to one game, again, you gotta kind of pick your poison there. Otherwise, it's going to be a good one to have your TV remote in your hand all afternoon.
All right, Bock, this next one: Arizona, Iowa State, Oregon, Penn State, Georgia, Alabama, Massachusetts, Missouri. Who are you watching, Bock?
Sorry.
Who gets first dibs?
Well, sorry, Massachusetts. You're not going.
Yeah, they're 45. They're 44.5 points underdog. So I would not watch that.
Yeah, despite Mark Whipple's the history there, I don't think we're gonna go there. But that one's obviously. Again, aligns with you, whether you're a Big Ten fan or an SEC fan. I think the nation obviously intrigued by Oregon and Penn State.
Whoa!
Look
at the ticket price now.
Oh yeah, those are big.
$5.91.
Yikes!
For the Oregon Penn State game.
Wow,
that's my car note.
Yeah,
I won't be going to that one. Georgia $3.40.
Yeah, that's a little more affordable. That's still $350.
Bock, out of these two games, who are you watching and why?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch. I think right now, with Alabama having lost the game already, of course there's interest in the downfall of the Crimson Tide, but that one doesn't quite have the top 5 type of punt, top feel. I think one of these teams is ranked 6th or whatever it is. But nevertheless, top 6 if you want to put it that way. Oregon and Penn State, and the fact that this is the Big Ten championship game last year, intriguing both of these to see if a coach can get over the hump. James Franklin is 1-13 against top 5 opponents at Penn State. And so he's going to have a chance here again against number 6 Oregon. I don't know if that would necessarily factor in, but it's, that's a top 5 type of matchup there. And then Kirby Smart. Kirby Smart is 1-6 against Alabama.
1-6.
But that 1-6 record is against Nick Saban. What is this? Is he going to be able to dominate the new Alabama? We'll have to wait and see. Huge if Alabama wins, obviously, for Kalen DeBoer and trying to get that program back on track. So those games are absolutely fantastic matchups to settle in on a Saturday night on.
All right, Bock, 9:30 game. I don't even care about it. I probably won't watch it.
You're not going to stay up for it?
No, I mean, I will still be watching Georgia beat the brakes. Bock, I'm watching Georgia versus
Alabama.
I'm watching both of them, Bock.
Yeah.
Both of them.
You're going to have to dual screen it again.
Yeah, I'm going to have to dual screen it again because that's what I'm going to have to do, Bock.
What's the 9:30? What do we got for late night?
BYU at Colorado.
All right, yeah. That's intriguing enough if you're not all footballed out for the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do that.
And just so that's it. It's no one else after that.
All right, well, fair enough.
Tickets $59.
Good enough nightcap, I think.
Good enough nightcap for you?
Yeah, I'm intrigued.
All right. That's a little college football talk. We got more college football talk. When we come back, we're going to talk a little Matt Rule and our defense. And I got a little something else for you. Some Bar 44 tickets to give out. 93.7 the ticket. We'll be right back.
Did you know that deer collisions are covered under the comprehensive portion of your car insurance? That means, like with hail damage or vandalism, since they are out of your control, they don't usually raise your insurance rates. And that's a good thing, since most deer don't carry liability insurance. At Eustace Body Shop, we fixed all kinds of animal collision damage, from cows to raccoons, bobcats, and even turkeys. We can't do much for the animal, but we can get your car back on all fours and looking like new again.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's time for Bonsall Pool and Spa's Truckload event. From September 23rd through the 27th, stop by Bonsall Pool and Spa at 3201 Pioneers Boulevard to see an actual truck full of hot tubs with special prices. You'll save up to $3,000 on all hot tubs and swim spas, as well as $1,500 on all saunas and cold plunges. Use Nebraska football's bye week well by stopping in on September 27th for refreshments and giveaways. That's Bonsall Pool and Spa at 3201 Pioneers Boulevard in Lincoln.
Follow the Huskers to the City of Angels when Nebraska plays at UCLA in November. Book your official Nebraska alumni travel package at HuskerFanTravel.com. Choose from 2 or 3 night options that include a hotel in scenic Santa Monica, an exclusive welcome event, game day transportation, and the official Husker Huddle pregame party. Add on your game tickets for an optional upgrade. Transportation to and from LA is not included. Join the official Nebraska alumni trip to see the Huskers play at UCLA. Spots are limited, so book your trip now at HuskerFanTravel.com.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal, because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
This is your invite to Lincoln's Oktoberfest. On Saturday, September 27th, come to Beer House at 8th and P in the Haymarket from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. for a full day of German fun. Live bands, mouth-watering food, cold brews, and games for every age. Try your hand at Steinholding, Cornhole, or bring friends for Hammerschlagen. Admission is just $9 in advance, and VIP gives you tokens, a Stein, rooftop access, and more. Lincoln's Oktoberfest, where the beer is flowing, the food is sizzling, and the spirit is Bavarian strong. Be there.
If one of the things running through your mind as a business owner is the recurring worry of possible cyber attacks, you can let out a sigh of relief. Hamilton Business Technologies has you covered. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we offer real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and more to keep your data safe from harm. We care about the success of Nebraska businesses and communities like yours. Learn how we can help you at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
We are going to see plenty of sunshine here for the rest of our Friday. We'll get all the way up to 85 for a high temperature with a little bit of a breeze here this afternoon. That breeze will die down if you're heading out to any high school football games tonight. We'll drop down to 60 for an overnight low. Weekend's looking great. We'll get up to 81 for a high on Saturday and 86 on Sunday. I'm meteorologist Aaron Donna for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. You're listening to Bock and the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to 93.7 The Ticket. Bock in the Blackshirt here. Bock, it's on you, my friend.
Yeah, it is. It is time for our Cash Blitz keyword here that we promised in this hour. Today's Cash Blitz keyword is fun, F-U-N. So let me read through this. It's time for the Cash Blitz $1,000 cash contest keyword. Text the word today, fun, to 508-777-1000, or head to our website and click on the Cash Blitz link to enter. I'll give you a second to pull out your phone and open the site. Here we go again. Today's keyword is fun. That's spelled F-U-N. Remember, every keyword you enter is another chance to win. One lucky listener will take home $1,000 tomorrow around noon. Don't wait. Get that keyword in now for your opportunity to win $1,000. Best of luck to you. Hopefully, you can have a wonderful weekend here and perhaps win the money.
All right, Bock. Matt Rule was spotted down in Texas recruiting a 5-star tight end. What year is Luke, what's his name?
Lindmeyer?
Yeah.
I believe he's a. Let me look it up. Actually, I don't want to speak without knowing for sure. Luke Lindenmeyer. I don't know if the internet works a little bit with us. Is a junior.
He's a junior.
I should have went with my gut.
So here's my theory, Bock, on this. Nebraska needs to be at some of the best high school who has the best defensive linemen, best offensive linemen right now, trying to get all the linemen we can get. Because this line we got, Bock, is not going to do it on both sides of the ball.
Well, and obviously anybody they recruit right now is not going to be able to help the current team. But as far as for building in the future, I do think that again was something that was maybe exposed to a degree against Michigan. I think Nebraska fans probably knew that they might not have the exact the talent that they were hoping for. Obviously, with Elijah Pritchett coming in, the hope was that maybe you do have an NFL type of tackle. But it's been a long time since Nebraska's had those guys, and oftentimes against the better opponents, that does get a little bit exposed. So trying to get those guys certainly would be big help for this program. Defensive line, that's a bit of a different conversation. Nebraska's had some good defensive linemen over the last 10 years, even last year. You look at Ty Robinson, obviously, now on the Eagles in the NFL. Need to develop, kind of bring that along and develop that along as well. How much of Michigan's attack do you think was on the defensive line last week, Terrell? How much of it was that, or the angles, gap filling from the linebackers?
It was
angles
50,
from the safeties?
It was 50-50, Bock. Yeah. I mean, sometimes them holes open up. I just don't see you can do a lot with a 3-man rush. I mean, especially, it's a 4-man rush to us because McCullum rushes every play. But at the same time, there was no pushback. I seen a lot of pushing forward from Michigan, and there was no resistance against this defensive line. When I say this, I mean, now you talk about Ty Robinson and Nash. You got to talk about the size of these guys. I mean, there wasn't your typical defensive tackles that we usually have at the University of Nebraska. But when you have guys that size and that big, it's hard to move those guys. They're going to double team. One of those guys demand a double team. Does anyone on this defense line right now, Bob, deserves a double team?
I don't think so.
And that makes it more easier for offense to game plan when you don't have a down lineman to double, and they can reach linebackers quicker, easier, and more faster with just going straight to them.
Yeah, and that's not to say there aren't some schemes or some plays that will double and call for it, and that's more on the offense kind of making their move. But as far as like demanding a double team, as you're saying, I don't necessarily know if that's the case. You made a good point during the break I wanted to ask you about, because we talked on the show a lot about Scott Frost, and we had a Scott Frost quote come up this week from Matt Rule, which is that when he was on the Pat McAfee show, is that they had the best practice of the year this year. We'd heard that so often from Scott Frost after losses that it
Let me read it.
It kind of became nothing.
This is Matt Rule on Pat McAfee. It probably was the best practice that we had all year. I think our defense made a real jump this week. Unless they jumped 100 yards, Bock, then I don't see it. You're not going to fix a defense like this overnight. You're not going to fix a defense like this in a week. You may fix it probably towards the end of the season, but there's no way in hell you're going to tell me that you fix that defense in a week. You're not playing a great team, Michigan State team. Yeah. You're playing a poorly Michigan State team. Then you play a Maryland team. Basically, what I'm saying, Bock, is that our schedule is helping us out.
Yeah.
When we looked at the schedule that Wisconsin had, we had this conversation at break, Bock.
Oh, yeah.
When we looked at that schedule that Wisconsin have, I don't think Nebraska fares any better than what Wisconsin's doing.
Yeah, it's interesting, and you do bring up that point. Nebraska did, obviously, going into the year, we knew had one of the easier schedules in the Big Ten. Wisconsin had one of the tougher ones. If you look at Wisconsin's schedule compared to Nebraska, Nebraska's got the next 4 games that we kind of talked about, coming being, Michigan State, Maryland, Minnesota, and Northwestern. They should be favored in. You kind of compare that to what Wisconsin's got coming up the rest of the season. Their winnable game was supposed to be Maryland. They lost 27-10. Now you look at the rest of the schedule for Wisconsin and just kind of think, if Nebraska had the schedule, what would it look like? At Michigan, Iowa at home, Ohio State at home, at Oregon, Washington at home, at Indiana, Illinois at home, at Minnesota. For Wisconsin, I don't know if I see another win in there. For Nebraska, I don't know if they'd be favored with that schedule. I mean, maybe at home against Iowa, maybe at home against Washington, maybe at home against Illinois. But I mean, those are maybes. Those are,
Those are big maybes.
Yeah.
Washington's not a bad team.
No, absolutely not.
Washington's not a bad team. I have who they play tomorrow? Is that tonight?
Ohio State.
Yeah, that's upset.
Upset alert.
Upset alert tonight.
Wow. Hey, I want to wait till the pick. See if you make that pick.
Who is it now?
Ohio State.
I probably won't, Bob, but I'm just saying.
You're just saying, just look out for it.
Yeah, I'm just saying, man. I probably won't because, you know what, Bock? I don't even care if the text line beats me. Long as I beat you, you're one game in front of me. I don't care if the text line beat me. This is me and your battle right now. This is the text line can win it. I wouldn't care. Long as I beat you because I sit beside you every day, and my game plan is to have more victories than you at the end of the season.
Well, fair enough. We do got to catch up to the text line at some point, though, because we at least want to feel like we're experts over here. It's hard to predict college football fans know that if we were really great at it, then we might be making a lot of money in Vegas. But we try to do what we can. So far, the text line has been kicking our butt. We'll see if that continues this week. We'll make our picks later in the show. But kind of going back to what you were saying about the best practice of the week, all that. I think part of that. Again, having gone through the Scott Frost years, we heard that just about every week. And so it was hard to believe. And I do think that there could be elements of still not believing. To your point, it's not fixed. Whatever the defensive problems are not fixed, but hopefully better and improved. But I mean, I think that that's a good sign and a good indication that at least things, the team, you're not losing the team. Maryland basically lost their team last year. If you kind of remember, their coach, Mike Loxley, said in the offseason, you're not, they're responding well. And so if it was the best practice of the year or one of the best practices of the year, you hope that be the case.
You got 8 weeks to go, Bob. You still got 8 games.
Sure.
You're going to tell me after you get beat, you want to tell me, oh, we had the best week of practice. You still have 8 weeks, Bob. So if you lose another one, you're going to say, oh, we had the best week of practice again.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if you can go back to that because Scott Frost did that too many times. It could even be true. Again, you don't know unless you're kind of in the building. You also even, they've got their own way. But I think that's a good way to kind of respond without all the demons of Nebraska football past hanging around and kind of remind us of previous coaches. It is a good way to respond to keep the team camaraderie high, keep them thinking, that was one game. You're in the college football playoff era. Their goal is to make the playoffs. One game's not going to exclude you from that. So, get off your butt. You got kicked on the ground. Get off your butt. Try to make it better. You've got an opportunity here. You don't have to beat Michigan in the next 4 weeks, but you have to prepare for USC down the line. Obviously, they're not thinking about that, but that's my point to that level of competition. They're focused on Michigan State. That's their next game, and hopefully they've got everything focused in on that. Michigan State, for what it's worth, is probably going to give you a decent test, especially if you're talking about that defense. Aiden Childs can move pretty well. They got a young running back they're pretty excited about. Nick Marsh is one of the better wide receivers in the Big Ten. The defense isn't going to give you a whole lot of tests, at least hopefully not. Nebraska.
They're going to get better in a week.
Well, Nebraska should be able to help
Michigan State's getting better in a week, Bob.
Well, they're hoping
they can say that too.
They're on the bye week.
They can also say that 124th and 112th in passing.
Yeah.
Maybe they can go to 100 this week.
They're giving up 271 passing yards a game.
That's not bad.
That's 110th in the country.
That's not bad.
That's almost 300 yards a game.
That's not bad still.
That's pretty bad.
Well,
Nebraska's giving up 78.
Okay, Bob.
That's number one in the nation.
We understand that. We understand that. We know that Nebraska is only one of 4 teams in college football who hasn't allowed a touchdown this season. Do you know the other 3?
In passing?
Yeah.
No, I do not.
You don't?
I do not.
I thought you knew everything, Bob.
I didn't say I knew.
Nebraska is only one of 4 college teams that hasn't allowed a touchdown. Who's the other one? Oregon. Who's the other one? BYU. Who's the other one? Arizona. I thought you knew that, Bob.
Hey, well, they're all playing this week, so hopefully I'm going to watch every one of those games and hope that he skips up a passing touchdown.
That's wrong, Bob. All right, when we come back, let's talk some John Butler. How much rope he got, Bob? We'll find out when we come back. Bock in the Blackshirt.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
The Nebraska Lottery announces a great new lotto game for our state, Nebraska Pick 4. What's so great about it? Well, it costs just $1 to play. There's a $6,000 top prize, there are drawings every day, and you could choose from 6 different bet types. If you like Nebraska Pick 3, you're going to love Nebraska Pick 4. So stop into your favorite Nebraska Lottery retailer and play today. It's the game you've been waiting for. Straight bet top prize odds 1 in 10,000.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the whole ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at our downtown studio at 11th and O, sponsored by Select Plumbing, Raising Cane's, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Currency, and the Kindler Hotel.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Follow the Huskers to the City of Angels when Nebraska plays at UCLA in November. Book your official Nebraska alumni travel package at huskerfantravel.com. Choose from 2 or 3 night options that include a hotel in scenic Santa Monica, an exclusive welcome event, game day transportation, and the official Husker Huddle pregame party. Add on your game tickets for an optional upgrade. Transportation to and from LA is not included. Join the official Nebraska alumni trip to see the Huskers play at UCLA. Spots are limited, so book your trip now at huskerfantravel.com.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the second season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball. You're listening to Bock in the Blackshirt.
Terrell Farley. Defending Terrell Farley, who last week in his first start was a holy terror. Number 43.
And Jake Bockoven. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer.
Welcome back to Bock in the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. You can check us out Monday through Friday from 1 to 3. Jake Bockoven and Terrell Farley live on there. Bock, when we look at the defense and we talk about, a couple of things, we gave up a big thing. Total yards. Nebraska gives up 249.3 yards a game. That's pretty good. I think that's pretty good. It'll get you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's the sixth best defense in the Big Ten when you go by yards.
Yeah.
When you go by the passing box, Nebraska only gives up 75.8 yards a game and passing. Only 303 yards through 4 games. Rushing, 694 yards. 173.5 yards a game, Bob.
Yeah.
This is what they average. They give up. That's too many, Bob.
Yeah.
That's too many. That's probably gets you.
So you might want to count up from the bottom.
That's number 17.
Yeah, there you go.
in the Big Ten. And when I say that, Bob, 173.75, the one who gives up more than that is UCLA at 244.
244 yards a game.
Yeah, Washington,
Oh
Michigan State gives up 120 rushing yards a game, but they also give up 384 total yards, 263 in the air.
Yeah.
So then when you talk about points per game, Nebraska gives up 13.5, which would probably get you 6 in the Big Ten. So
would you consider the defense a success so far this season, or does the last game against Michigan kind of obviously expose some things? But where are you at with the Blackshirts right now?
173 yards, 0.5 Bock. That's not Blackshirt football. You're reversing the roles of what Nebraska football used to be. We would give up a couple of yards passing. We would probably give up that part. But rushing, Nebraska always been not a negative, but under 100 yards per game type of defense. Yeah. When you give up 173 yards a game, offense, rushing, they're going to come out rushing. They're probably going to try to finish rushing. They're going to expose everything they're going to try to expose everything that Michigan exposed to you with their inside run. And that's one thing they're going to do. How much rope does John Butler have, Bock?
Well, he's his first year coordinator. Does have again, we can somewhat say, it's not the most important part of the, side of the defense or whatever, but to have the number one pass defense, there's only one team out there that has that. So, I would say that they've done a solid job, not spectacular. Obviously, with the holes in the ground game, to your point, you're not going to win a whole lot of games in the Big Ten if you're giving up 180 yards rushing, whether that be from the quarterback, which is most the case in the Cincinnati game, or mostly to the running backs, though the quarterback had a little bit of success as well against Nebraska on the ground in the Michigan game. He's still, again, you're just 4 games into his tenure. There's a lot of game left to be played. They can get significantly better against the run moving forward. Then they've got a pretty stout defense. If they can't, then you're kind of a one-sided defense, and teams are going to choose to probably try to run the ball against you a little bit more and try to get the big plays a la Michigan. A lot of it's going to depend on the opposing team and what they have coming in. Nebraska's schedule, as far as, playing some of the top offenses in the country, probably not going to happen. I mean, UCLA, like we've been saying, is struggling. I was always struggling to get some points. They scored 38 this past week, but we'll see kind of what happens this week against Indiana. Northwestern, obviously, just, Northwestern and UCLA, both just struggling programs altogether. So there's going to be opportunities on the schedule for Nebraska to improve some of those numbers. Then there's going to be those games that they'll really be tested. And that's what I kind of wait for. The USC game, the Penn State game, when we talk about the number one pass defense in the nation, what does it look like when they go up against, some of the top passing teams in the nation? Though Penn State's got some work to do to kind of get back into that category too. Drew Aller hasn't had the best of starts to the season. I think they're maybe where a little bit where you might have thought they might be. I think coming into the season, you thought they might have some problems there on the defensive line. That was kind of the holes that were left behind departing seniors and such. But it's been worse than what we had hoped for. Obviously, you give up again. It's just the 2 Power 4 opponents you've played. You gave 200 yards on the ground to Cincinnati, almost 300 yards on the ground to Michigan, and obviously in the Michigan game that cost you the game. So you can't routinely do that. To your point, you'd ideally give up less than 100 for a team. Maybe a realistic goal for Nebraska. Get down to somewhere between 140, 150. I mean, you can live with that type of performance on defense, but
that's a lot.
Well, I mean, if you combine that with the number one pass defense in the nation, if you're still giving up 75 yards passing, 150 yards rushing, that'd be 225 total. That's a pretty good defense.
Let's look at some other guys from the Big Ten. Passing. Ohio State, 118. Penn State, 123. Indiana, 118. Oregon, 120. Let's look at their rushing, Bob. Ohio State, 109. Penn State, 100. Indiana, 87. Oregon, 108. You still have a good Maryland team who gives up 208 yards passing the game and only gives up 92 rushing the game. Yeah. That's great. If you could, Bob, when I say this, because back when I played, it was like 250, 272, 280. That was good for defenses. Sure. I mean, because that's the way, you blow them out, you let the guys play, and they gain extra yards. But when you look at the points per game that these other teams, Buck, 5.3. Ohio State. 5.7. Penn State. 8.3. Indiana. 9.3. Maryland. 10.8. Did I say Maryland already?
I think so.
Oregon Ducks was 9.3.
Okay.
10.8 is Maryland. Minnesota, 12.3. Maryland's not a bad team, Bock, it looks like. I know they haven't played anybody worth talking about yet, but when they do play somebody like probably Iowa, or Minnesota, or a or a Michigan, if they beat those teams, then hey, we got to think twice about this Maryland team, Bob.
Well, it's interesting. They are on their bye week as well as Nebraska and Michigan State, and of course their opponent after Michigan State. Then next week, while Nebraska's taking on Michigan State, they'll have Washington, and Washington's a solid program. To your point, their wins so far: FAU, NIU, Wisconsin, and Towson. It might not be the best competition, but we'll see. I mean, if they get a win over Washington, and I think that would be a pretty close kind of pick 'em game at this point. We'll see again what Washington does with Ohio State. They could come into Lincoln with some momentum. So, Nebraska will be traveling out to Maryland, so they could welcome in Nebraska with some momentum there. We'll see. It's obviously again they're as many teams have on at this point in the season. Their strength of schedule might not be the toughest, but they're feeling pretty good after the 4-0 start. And as you go through those numbers again, it just kind of depends on what your expectation of Nebraska is. I often thought about when you guys are watching that as the 95 team watching Nebraska and Michigan, you probably had to feel, hey, this team's a long ways away from the 95 team. But that's not necessarily where the expectation is for Nebraska, or the next step isn't to get back to dominance or one of the best teams in the country. It's to kind of make that next step to be maybe borderline back into the top 25. Would we like it all at once? Would we like to be competing with Ohio State's and Penn State's week in and week out, year in and year out? Absolutely, but that seems like a big jump. So when you kind of read some of those numbers that Ohio State or Penn State have, I kind of think, well, yeah, but Nebraska's not in that same. It's like, I don't know if you're in school. Those teams are in high school. Nebraska's in middle school trying to make the jump to high school.
Well, you had that chance. You had it against a Michigan team that you almost should have beat. I mean,
one way of looking at it.
Yeah, I mean they're not a top. Let's say they're not a top. If I rank Michigan, they're probably 8th, 9th, 10th best team in the Big Ten. And I could put Nebraska in front of them. I mean, season still.
You would.
Yeah, I mean, season still has a long way to go. I mean,
to me, that game, I looked like Michigan was way ahead of Nebraska. Nebraska kind of stuck in the game.
I mean, that's what people are going to say. Hey, we only beat us by 3. They said the same thing about Ohio State last year.
Yeah.
But, different stuff.
Yeah. So it just depends on how you look at it.
Yeah. 157069 says, let me put my glasses on. I have them today. Ask Farley, what do the linebackers have to do to play the way he did? Comment on the second and ask the championship game. What would be Farley's game plan versus Michigan State? You have to ask Charlie McBride something like that. He's the game planner. I think when you talk about the team we had, you have to start off with the front four. It wouldn't be a Terrell Farley or a Jay Foreman or a Jamel Williams or a Doug Coleman, Phil Ellis without a good defensive line. I mean, you got to have great defensive line to have a great defense. That's what I think. You can have all of the fastest guys in the world. You can have the best back seven, but if your front four isn't good, there's no way you're going to be a good team.
Yeah.
Just my thought. Gus Mohawk, what do you do with Elijah Pritchett in the left tackle situation? Here's what I think. I think you give a guy a chance. I think you give a guy a chance. I think he's better than what we think he is. I think that they're holding him back. And, I mean, it's just, he makes bonehead mistakes. So he has to come out of that shell and better himself to get on the field. I think he's a good player. I think he's probably the best left tackle we got. But the jumping off sides and the little things, I think, will hurt this guy and hurt his chances at Nebraska. You can say they probably want to get him back next year. Just try to, it's a lot of things going on with this when you talk about this kid Elijah Pritchett and how big and how much talent he had in that he can come from a SEC school starting to come ride the bench at Nebraska. That kind of gets me kind of not upset, but it's like a mystery to me.
Well, I mean, I think we see why. I mean, Coach Rule kind of said it from the beginning. There's just, a few small things kind of add up to the big things. And, thus far in his Husker career, when he's been out there, he's gone offside. I mean, he's just kind of or false start. Excuse me. He's kind of made the mistakes that are kind of holding him back in that battle. Now you look at last week when the tackles at no matter who you throw in there seemed to be overmatched against Michigan.
Well, here's the thing. We talk about the jump offsides thing. Maybe he come from a program where they just did that. I mean, sometimes you got to change for the better.
Well, I mean, it's just it's the timing of the penalties. The penalties there. Again, I think they gave him somewhat of a chance. He gave up a sack too. I don't know if I don't think there's an answer on the Nebraska roster to Michigan's pass rush on the perimeter. They just don't have the athletes. Now you could hope Elijah Pritchett can be that guy. We won't get a whole lot of a good look or an idea of what he is at this point in his career. You can go back and look at the Alabama tape, but
you got to start. You cannot go back in that game with Gattuso. I'm sorry, Bob. Guy gave up 3 sacks. Okay, if he's going to give up 3 sacks every game, and you're going to keep him in there, he's not
going to give up 3 sacks.
Well, he gave a good defense.
Right.
He gave up 3 sacks against a good defense.
And again, I don't know if that's a problem that's just unique to him, or it was going to happen regardless of who you put out there, because
he got exposed.
So did the other tackles.
Yeah. And who's the other guy?
Well, Prohaska on one side, he gave up 1. I mean, if you look at the sacks given up numbers, but I mean, they just didn't have an answer. Again, like I was saying, I don't know. We don't know what a full game of Pritchett would look like, because they don't trust him for a full game, because when they put him out there for a series or two, he's making a mistake.
One little mistake. I mean, players going to make mistakes, Bob. I mean, sometimes you have to get them corrected, and that one and done situation, how they did them last week, that wasn't great, Bob. Come on, Bob.
I mean,
we got more problems than the guy jumping off sides. We do.
Well, that's equal to giving up a sack without even getting a playoff.
You still get a play. You still get the same play, Bob. You get 5 more yards.
Yeah, it's back.
I like Johnny Carter says make him pay $500 each penalty. Put something on it.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, if I was Coach Rowley, every time you jump off sides, $100.
Yeah. I mean,
$100 in the pot.
I don't know if you can do that at this point, but maybe.
Well, they get paid, so you could probably do it.
I don't know if you can fine them yet for mistakes, but I don't know if that's ethically there. But in any case, we'll see. I mean, I'm not shutting it down. I don't think it's impossible for Elijah Pritchett to have a big impact on this game. I really don't like any idea of any fans yelling to anybody or talking to anybody on social media afterwards on the team. But especially
who did that?
Well, I just in general, I know Pritchett gets a lot of the hey, you made all this NIL money, this and that, and so people have high expectations from him. But I think that the young man can help at Nebraska at some point, but they don't trust putting him out there. And that's just for consistency based. You can sit from the sideline and say they should do this, they should put him in. Maybe he's the answer. Again, I think if he was clearly that much better, then he would, then you look at the pros and cons, and the negative would, the pro would outweigh the negative. At this point, they don't feel like the small mistakes are going to be outweighed by his play compared to Gatula.
All right, here's 1508. Roller has been at Nebraska since Frost. When are we going to realize he might be the issue with our offensive line? We haven't had a run game since he's been here. Who you blame that on, Bob? You blame it on offensive lineman, or you blame it on what?
Well, again, I think part of this has been a program problem before Raiola even got here. Is Nebraska hasn't had NFL type of tackles for the longest time. I mean, I haven't even looked it up. I mean, I don't even know the last tackle that played tackle at Nebraska and played tackle in the NFL. There are guys that the guys that come along that have played guard at in the NFL that played tackle at Nebraska. That's not uncommon, by the way. You put your best offensive lineman at the tackle position, but to truly be able to handle consistently the Michigans, the Ohio States, the Penn States, the USC type of athletes they're going to bring off the edge. This has been a problem for Nebraska since even before that, going back to the Big 12, the Oklahomas, the Texases, the teams he had problems there. You got to have some legitimate athletes in those cases. Nebraska's offensive line, I always go back to, for the most part, I think in 75% of their games look pretty good. And that's because I think they have the athletes to work against the defenses they go against. But if you're going against those top end teams, They just haven't. Now, I'm not completely excluding Coach Raiola from that. At some point, you do want to get better. You do want to be able to develop those guys. And so you kind of go back to the development side of it. But let's not act like Nebraska wasn't stuck on Turner Corcoran and Ethan and Ben Hart for the last 5 years because they couldn't get anybody in here to compete with them.
So here's what I think, Bock. Keep his head down until somebody move on the other side. Watch the ball or something. You have to do something to get this monster on the field, Bock. Don't pay attention to the count. Just sit there, look at the guy in front of you, or look at it's hard to explain it, Bock, when a guy keeps jumping off sides.
Yeah. Well, that's where it is. It's tough to it's easy to say, you should know the basics of football and all this and that. But if it's not coming, and for some guys, it just never necessarily comes. And you have to hope that you can kind of get that out of him. Again, to my point earlier, don't jump on him. Maybe this isn't the year Elijah Pritchett breaks out. Maybe it's next year. The guy has talent. The guy has the NFL body. That's why people are so high on him. It's going to take some time. You hope to be able to develop that. And again, you can maybe circle that back to Raiola, and hopefully they kind of can get there. But it's part of the problem that Nebraska's had. Again, when you go to the offseason, this past offseason in the transfer portal, these were not their first, none of their offensive linemen guys that they got, and that being Pritchett and Spindler, didn't seem to be their first targets. They went after some other guys and struck out. You eventually land on these guys, then you hope that they can, outdo where they were along your board in the offseason. Maybe they can kind of rise up a few of those, and hopefully you can develop them. And we'll see if Nebraska is able to. But again, it's just been a lot of times in those bigger games, just the level of athlete. Now, from there, you can question the coaching. I wouldn't necessarily put it in Raiola there, but there's a lot of empty sets, and a lot of the extra help was coming from the running back, successful or not. Kind of stepping in there and trying to pick up some blocks too. Why not more tight ends sticking in there when your offensive line, especially on the perimeter, is being overwhelmed? Didn't seem to happen that much. Now, sometimes they would kind of have a delay route off of some blocking. And certainly, football, there's a lot of calls in there. I'm sure they had the tight ends in there sometimes, but it wasn't enough. Not enough for the pressure that Michigan was getting to Nebraska's quarterback all day. The sacks are one thing. The pressure rate was another. That's why people go through that Dylan Raiola game and think, all sorts of opinions on it. But
yeah, all sorts of opinions. Can't block. Can't get away out of the pressure. Not as talented as a quarterback when it comes to trying to get out the pocket. Yeah. Great thrower, though.
Yeah.
Great thrower.
Well, and he's always going to be limited to what his athletic ability as a quarterback. A lot of quarterbacks aren't that way. I stopped sort of calling him a statue because he can kind of maneuver a little bit, but he's not much more than that. And
I at least thought he was more mobile last year than what I've seen this year so far.
He's more mobile this year, but it's either way, it's not a big gap.
Yeah. Baby steps.
Right.
All right, Bock, let's go to break. He said he knows the damn snap count seems like a mental thing. It's got to be, man. I got to go talk to the guy, man. I really have to talk to Pritchett, man. He's from my hometown, and I gotta put some faith in him. I gotta go praise him up.
Yeah.
Put some Jesus in his life. Hit him in the head with some holy water. Let's get right. Let him go.
Do something, yeah.
Yeah. Sit down and talk to Coach Osborne and see how easy that goes. 93.7 The Ticket. Bock in the Black Shirt. Be right back.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
Join LES at 6 p.m. Thursday, October 9th at the LES Operations Center to learn about the utilities' proposed 2026 budget and electric rates, and share your input at the annual public meeting. Learn more at les.com.
Since 1983, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs have been a trusted and reliable company in Lincoln and the surrounding areas. Fast Mike's handles all sides of construction projects, home renovations, or big cleanouts. With the perfect size dumpster to fit your needs, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs will haul it all. With same-day delivery in Lincoln, affordable rates, and top-notch service, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs make cleanup quick and easy. Call now at 402-450-6828 or visit us online at fastmikesrolloffs.com. Book your dumpster today. Fast Mike's Roll-Offs, cleanup made simple.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations. Tired of asking what's for dinner? Nourished for Life has got you covered. At Nourished, they're a local meal prep company that delivers fresh, chef-crafted, healthy meals straight to your door. Made from wholesome ingredients and ready when you are. No shopping, no chopping. Just heat, eat, and enjoy every night of the week. Fuel your busy days with balanced meals that are designed to keep you satisfied and energized. Visit nourishedforlife.co to purchase meals and taste the convenience of home-cooked comfort without the hassle.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
We interrupt this commercial break for an important story.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Führer's cheese spread. So he left it once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
Are you tired of your usual barbershop experience? Stop into Scissors and Scotch today. I know what you're thinking. Drink during a haircut? Don't worry. First comes the precision cut from one of their experienced barbers, followed by your complimentary cocktail in their upscale lounge. Scissors and Scotch blends your old school barber feel with your favorite watering hole. And now you can earn $10 off by simply mentioning the ticket. And if you're an existing member, still mention the ticket for an exclusive offer. Offer valid at Lincoln location only. Scissors and Scotch, located just south of 30th and Yankee Hill, and online at lincoln.scissorscotch.com.
This is your invite to Lincoln's Oktoberfest. On Saturday, September 27th, come to Beer House at 8th and P in the Haymarket from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. for a full day of German fun. Live bands, mouth-watering food, cold brews, and games for every age. Try your hand at Steinholding, Cornhole, or bring friends for Hammerschlagen. Admission is just $9 in advance, and VIP gives you tokens, a Stein, rooftop access, and more. Lincoln's Oktoberfest, where the beer is flowing, the food is sizzling, and the spirit is Bavarian strong. Be there.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
We are going to see plenty of sunshine here for the rest of our Friday. We'll get all the way up to 85 for a high temperature with a little bit of a breeze here this afternoon. That breeze will die down. If you're heading out to any high school football games tonight, we'll drop down to 60 for an overnight low. Weekend's looking great. We'll get up to 81 for a high on Saturday and 86 on Sunday. I'm meteorologist Aaron Donna for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the second season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball. You're listening to Bock and the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Bock and the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. Bock, I came up with it. I came up with it. let's scrap. Let's just throw away the 3-3-5.
Uh-oh.
Throw it away
Okay.
after this shit. Let's go to a traditional 4-2. If you want to go 4-2-5, 4-3, I can go with that. But the only thing that's going to save Nebraska is having traditional defensive linemen. When I looked up in the game the other day, Cam Linhart was at tackle. He's a defensive end. You know who's on the other side of him?
Who's that?
William Nwili. 2 defensive ends on the same side. I question that, Bock, because that's not good when you have 2 defensive ends on one side. It's not an overload. When I say scrap the 3-3-5, I mean, let's just go to a traditional 4-3. I mean, you got to put your guys in position to win, and the only way we're going to win is we have to get out of that 3-3-5. I'm serious, Bob.
You've been pretty up against the 3-3-5, even through the last years where it was somewhat successful. Top 25 defense.
I mean, yeah. I mean, bottom of the pile, top 25 defense is not a number 1 defense. I just don't think we're built for a 3-3-5, and it we was the last 2 years because of the guys we had. Now, though, when you lose those 2 big guys, now you see you're not a fit for the 3-3-5. I can see it easily.
But if you don't have size on a 3-3-5, wouldn't you struggle still to have size on a 4-3 or 3-4?
Not really, because then you get guys like let's get this. Cam Linhart's not a defensive end. William Nwili, he's a defensive end. McCullum, not a defensive end, but you got him playing out of position.
Yeah,
out of position.
Jack linebacker. Yeah,
yeah, he's a linebacker. He's a linebacker. How do you put a guy at defensive end that goes from playing safety at Indiana, playing linebacker at Oklahoma? Now you get to Nebraska, and you're playing him as a defensive end every play. That guy only weighs 215, 220. Bob, you can lie to me on a program director all you want. I can look at that guy and tell he's not 225 pounds. He's probably 215. His legs too skinny.
He does have a few sacks on the year. You think he can get 8,
Yeah, because
9
he has a great motor.
Yeah.
He has a great motor.
He's a good pass rusher.
No, he has a great motor.
Yeah.
He can do things that probably got, because his motor runs 24/7. He may get pushed all the way out the picture, but his motor zooms him back in there, Bob. That don't make you a great defender. It means you're out of place. I'm just saying. Bill and Bennett, Blackshirt is right. 3-3-5 doesn't work here. Just stop the run. All right, Bob. Let's get it.
All right.
It's pick'em time.
Let's get to our picks.
We're going 12 games this week. 12 games.
Yeah. There's too many good games to pick from here.
Yeah, it's too many to pick from. I say the Blackshirt is going 10-2 this week.
That's your goals this week?
That's my goal this week. I'm going to put my pick'em face on.
All right. We need your help from the text line. Of course, the text line has been kicking our butt all year. So you guys want to be able to continue that or just have a really bad week and let us get back into it. We would appreciate that as well. So far, I'm 26-17 on the season. Terrell Farley lands at 25-18. And in the text line, leading at 30-13 on the season. I'll play the music here for a second. I'm going to grab a pen so I can write this stuff down. All right, I got my pen ready. Guys, on the text line, remember the rules of the text line picks. First one to text in gets the pick. We'll shout you out, and you'll get part of the credit there if you have a winning week. All right, let's start here this week. Friday night game. I want something to be on the line for us, Terrell. So I picked TCU, number 24 TCU, at Arizona State. The Sparky is favored, actually, in this game by 2.5. They're wearing their blackout uniforms. I guess the question there, Arizona State, a party school, how much of the student section will be blacked out by the end of the third quarter? Not necessarily sure. But in any case, TCU, freshly ranked TCU, number 24 at Arizona State. Let's go ahead and, you know what? I'll start the picks. You say I'm copying your picks sometimes. I'm going to start with Arizona State. Barely edged out Baylor last week. I think they get it done again here.
I'm going to Arizona State, Bob.
Oh,
I don't think TCU is ready yet.
fair enough.
Bill picks TCU.
Oh, TCU in there for the text line, already picking TCU to get the win. All right, let's get to the next game here. USC, number 21, at number 23, Illinois. Of course, Illinois looking to bounce back since USC favored by 7.5 in this one.
You know what, Bock? I'm going a different route in this one. I'm going Illinois.
Wow.
They're going to make a rebound.
Wow.
They're going to make a rebound.
Yeah. Yeah, big pick there. Big Ty says on the text line USC. I'm going with Big Ty. I like his pick there. But I like you going the opposite approach there, seeing if Illinois can bounce back. I would say I'm cheering for him because I usually go for Brett Bielema, but I want Nebraska to play a ranked USC team down the line. Another interesting one in the Big Ten. Maybe it would be cut if we did the 10 games, but since we're going to 12, I like it. Rutgers at Minnesota. Minnesota favored by 5.5 in this game. Rutgers very narrowly beat Iowa last week. Minnesota coming off getting beat by Cal a few weeks ago.
Ooh.
Tough one to pick.
That's a tough one.
Yeah. Minnesota home field advantage.
Yeah, I go with Minnesota.
Minnesota. Text line, let us know what you think. Also, keep in mind, this is the Ethan Kaliak-Manis game. He, of course, was at one time Minnesota's quarterback, now Rutgers. I think Rutgers actually gets the win. I think Minnesota's in a little bit of trouble there. Rutgers gets the bounce back win. But we've got Old Dad on the text line.
Bill.
Minnesota as well.
Bill.
Or Bill. Bill was in
Yeah.
first.
You got to take the first one.
Oh, Bill was in first.
Yeah.
He did pick Rutgers. So
Yeah.
we'll go with Rutgers.
Give y'all a loss.
On that one. Hey, might be, might not be. We'll see here. All right, we move on. You said you might make the surprise pick here. I'll make my pick out of the gate in case we put the pressure on you. Number 1, Ohio State at Washington. Ohio State favored by 9.5. I'm picking Ohio State.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Ohio State on this
that's
one.
not where you want to take the chance there. Text line, let us know. There it is. First one, Nebraska basketball fan says Ohio State. Thanks again for playing along. How about Cincinnati at Kansas? Kansas favored by 6.5. Nebraska fans might be cheering for Cincinnati to get the win here.
What's Kansas' record?
They did lose the one game to Missouri. I think that's it as of right now.
Let's go Kansas.
You like Kansas there?
Yeah, I'm going Kansas.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Kansas, too. I think they're...
Is it Kansas or Kansas State?
It's Kansas.
Okay.
Yeah, Kansas State I would not pick.
Yeah, I'm going Kansas.
Let's see if the text line has a Kansas or Cincinnati pick. Songbird picks in Cincinnati, so Cincinnati being the pick for the text line. All right, big one here. A couple big ones in the SEC. Number 4, LSU at number 13, Ole Miss. Mississippi actually favored by 2.5 here. And some additional interest in this game is that Lane Kiffin's daughter is dating a linebacker from LSU. He said early in the week, take the points, because if they get a lead, he's going to pour some points on because of that.
I'm going to go with Ole Miss.
Oh, there we go. Ole Miss at home to get the win against LSU.
Yeah.
Off the text line, it looks like Big Ty, Bill, and Ben, and Old Dad all say LSU. I'm going to go with Ole Miss as well. I wonder LSU, too, still wondering if that opening victory over Clemson, which pushed them up in the rankings, now we know Clemson's not very good. So that's kind of interesting to see how they reflect that. Let's get to Auburn at Texas A&M. A&M favored by 6.5. Some interesting notes here. Auburn has given up 16 sacks. That's tied for second worst in the nation. Also struggling a little bit in the pass defense. That's why I will pick Texas A&M.
Who did Auburn play last week?
They came up short against Oklahoma.
Auburn. They should have won that game.
You like Auburn?
I'm going Auburn.
Auburn to beat A&M.
Yeah.
Good pick.
War Eagles, baby.
Bill and Bennett picking A&M along with myself. That's right. You're kind of from the Auburn neighborhood, aren't you?
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Let's get to Indiana at Iowa. Indiana favored by 7.5, obviously coming off the blowout win at Iowa. Iowa's looking for their first ranked win since 2021, if you can believe it.
Indiana.
Yeah.
By 100.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe we should do point spread here. I'm not going to quite go that route, but I will pick Indiana to win as well. Is the text line bold enough to go Iowa? Dylan Bennett says yes, he picks Iowa. So there we go. Text line getting a little bold with their lead. I think
they get a little jock.
Yeah, getting pretty happy. How about Tennessee, the 15th ranked Tennessee Volunteers at undefeated Mississippi State here in this game? Remember, Mississippi State beat Arizona State earlier in the year, so that could be an interesting game in the SEC. Mississippi State, though, going to have to clean it up a little bit. 134th in the country with 89 penalty yards a game. You might not be able to do that against Tennessee.
I'll go against Tennessee. I'm going Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm going Tennessee, too. Though I do think that's an interesting enough game. That's why I put it on the schedule. So a little bit of upset alert, but I can't quite do it. Looks like Bill and Bennett was first again to pick Michigan State.
He's sabotaging you.
He might be sabotaging you guys. Yeah, we're gonna. If he makes another upset pick, we might let the second one get in there. Bill and Bennett is trying to throw off the stats here for you, but we will see. Maybe he truly believes it. I couldn't tell you. How about Arizona at Iowa State? Iowa State favored by 6.5. They've kind of barely gotten through these games. Arizona also undefeated on the year. They've got a little bit of a problem in the penalty category as well. They average about 63 yards per game as far as penalties, but they are fourth in the country with a +6 turnover margin. I'm going to go ahead and pick Arizona to get the upset here. I have not been impressed with Iowa State this far into the season. I'll
go Iowa State. I was going to go Arizona, but I'll let you have that.
You want me to take the risk? Looks like 1508 picks Arizona for the text line. Just a few games left here. And they're the big ones. Number 6, Oregon at number 3, Penn State. Penn State is favored by 3.5. Keep in mind, since Franklin was hired in 2014, James Franklin is just 1-13 against matchups against teams in the top 5 of the AP poll. So this is one of those games. I don't know if you can do it against Oregon to kind of defeat the demons of Michigan and Ohio State that have been there on James Franklin's resume, but we'll see. All that considered, I think Oregon gets the win, and James Franklin struggles.
Yeah, that's a lot of talking to do, Bock. Just pick Oregon. Oregon. Yeah, Oregon.
Well, I'm letting you know why. Yeah. Bit of thought there. Are you going to Oregon, Will?
Yeah, I'm going to Oregon. It took you like 10 minutes to get that done right there.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to get
text line has Penn State.
Oh, text line. Yeah, Jason picking in Penn State there. All right, our final game here is number 17, Alabama against number 5, Georgia. Georgia favored by 2.5. Kirby Smart, though, 1-6 against Alabama at this point in his career. All of that, of course, being against Nick Saban. Are you going against the Dogs, Drill?
Never. Not like last year, that one time. That was buffoonery. But I am going roll UGA.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Throw this off a little bit. Looks like on my end, I'm going to bark like a dog as well and go with the Bulldogs to get the victory.
Oh, Dad and Bill and Bennett says Alabama.
All right, we got 2 Bama picks here, so
see you losers Monday.
Very well could be the case. We got our picks in. We got one final segment as we get ready for a break here on Blocking the Blackshirt.
Opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Feeling off lately? Struggling with your mental well-being can make everyday life harder, and it can also increase the risk of substance use. Early support can make a big difference. Visit myhealthymind.crediblemmind.com and take the free mental health check-in assessment. In just a few minutes, you'll get non-judgmental feedback, local resources, and next steps to help you feel more in control and supported. This message is funded in part by the CDC OD2A grant.
Since 1983, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs have been an trusted and reliable company in Lincoln and the surrounding areas. Fast Mike's handles all sides of construction projects, home renovations, or big cleanouts. With the perfect size dumpster to fit your needs, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs will haul it all. With same-day delivery in Lincoln, affordable rates, and top-notch service, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs make cleanup quick and easy. Call now at 402-450-6828 or visit us online at fastmikesrolloffs.com. Book your dumpster today. Fast Mike's Roll-Offs, cleanup made simple.
M-Suits Clothiers, Lincoln's favorite men's store, is ready for the fall season. Stop by today to see the newest arrivals in casual and sportswear from Johnny O, Seven Diamonds, Mavi, Task, Luciano Visconti, Scott Barber, and many more. M-Suits Clothiers, 1 block south of 56th and Pine Lake Road.
We interrupt this commercial break for an important story.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Führer's cheese spread. So he left at once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
Load up on meat and more this spring at The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese with great selections of T-bones, tomahawks, ribeyes, filet mignon, brisket, sirloin, and so much more. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, where you can have $2 draft beer every Thursday night from 4 to 8 p.m. and half-price espresso drinks on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Get to The Mercado today for the best meat in town.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the whole ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at our downtown studio at 11th and O, sponsored by Select Plumbing, Raising Cane's, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Currency, and the Kindler Hotel.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
Tired of asking what's for dinner? Nourished for Life has got you covered. At Nourished, they're a local meal prep company that delivers fresh, chef-crafted, healthy meals straight to your door. Made from wholesome ingredients and ready when you are. No shopping, no chopping. Just heat, eat, and enjoy every night of the week. Fuel your busy days with balanced meals that are designed to keep you satisfied and energized. Visit nourishedforlife.co to purchase meals and taste the convenience of home-cooked comfort without the hassle.
Big news, Nebraska! Love Omaha is now Love Nebraska. This is more than just a new name. It's a tribute to what Nebraska represents in the world of volleyball. It's still the same team with the same mission, led by players you know and love. Now backed by a new ownership group led by Jordan Larson. As Love Nebraska, they're entering an exciting new chapter, pushing for a championship title in 2026 and building new opportunities for the next generation of players across the state. They want you with them. Let's show the world how Nebraska plays volleyball. Join the movement at lovneb.com and sign up to become a Love Nebraska insider today.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
You're listening to Bock and the Blackshirt on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Bock and the Blackshirt here for the final segment for the weekend. This is the perfect weekend to watch great football. The Huskers are not playing. A lot of great games on. Probably can go out here and do your yard work for the last time of the year. I think that's what I do, Bob.
Yeah.
Cut a little grass and get it out the way. It won't grow back anymore. It barely want to grow back now.
Well, fair enough. I'm gonna get some extra work done around the house too. Like you said, it might be your last chance for the fall to get a lot of it done, at least in the sun. It's supposed to be pretty nice this weekend. You know what? We do have to give away a Bar 48 gift card, so I do want to go ahead and do that before we round out the show. Of course, Bar 48 is Lincoln's newest craft cocktail lounge, conveniently located on North 48th Street. Bar 48 offers everything from cocktails, beer, wine, and so much more. Follow Bar 48 on Facebook to stay up to date on their live music performances every Saturday night. So maybe that could be something to do this bye weekend. Make plans to visit Bar 48 on North 48th Street in the heart of University Place neighborhood today. And so for our final contest, we've talked a lot of college football here. There was a game last night. Army lost. Army is now 1-3 with their only win over Kansas State, making you further think Kansas State is not doing well this year. All we need on the text line, first person to say who Army lost to will win a gift card to Bar 48. So again, who did Army lose to last night in college football? 402-464-5685 is the Sartor Heyman Jewelers text line. Go ahead and text that in, and you may be the winner of $25 to Bar 48. And we do have a winner, Nolan Border, the first one to announce to get it right. East Carolina is the team that won. So Nolan, go ahead and stop in at 93.7 The Ticket at some point during business hours, and you can pick up your $25 to Bar 48 and enjoy your time there.
All right, Bob. What else you got for me, my man?
I say we're getting
NFL last night.
Yeah, I didn't want to talk about that. That's my team losing. My team did end up losing. Seattle beat Arizona 23-20. Sam Darnold and the Seahawks are now 3-1. Arizona drops now to 2-2, unfortunately. Kind of an up and down game if you're a Cardinals fan too, because Marvin Harrison Jr. had some really a tough couple weeks here. Last week against the 49ers, dropped 2 passes, including a touchdown pass that maybe could have changed that game. Then in the first half here, seemed to have caused 2 interceptions on Kyler Murray. One was a bobbled kind of slant pass he couldn't get his hands on, or he did, but he couldn't keep his hands on, and Seattle ended up picking off. Another one was a miscommunication, so not sure how much of that was on Marvin Harrison, how much of that was on Kyler Murray. Now, he did somewhat redeem himself in the second half, was able to get a touchdown and a big reception to tie the game up at 20 as Arizona stormed back. And then Arizona's kicker on a kickoff, he kicked the ball short of the 20-yard line, and that's a penalty in the NFL. So, kind of a newer penalty, but it is what it is. So Seattle got the ball. I don't know how many seconds were left, maybe like 33, something like that. At the 40-yard line, they only had to go a couple yards down the field to get a field goal, or to get within field goal range. They hit it as time expired, and Seattle gets the win. So, yeah, I didn't want to talk about it, but I made you talk about your Falcons getting shut out by the Panthers last week. So I guess this is fair.
Why would you throw that in there?
Well, I'm just saying, you made me talk about my Cardinals loss.
I didn't make you. I didn't know who played.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, go Falcons this week then.
No, it's too late now, Bob. It's too late.
Oh, okay.
We're not even friends anymore. I won't talk to you till Monday now.
Yeah.
Usually get those little texts by me, them little video texts, but you know what? Not anymore.
Well, as this college football weekend goes, if I get a lead, I'll text you a little bit.
All right.
See if I can get something out of you.
93.7 The Ticket. Bock in the Black Shirt. We'll see you Monday.
Are you tired of your usual barbershop experience? Stop into Scissors and Scotch today. I know what you're thinking. Drink during a haircut? Don't worry. First comes the precision cut from one of their experienced barbers, followed by your complimentary cocktail in their upscale lounge. Scissors and Scotch blends your old school barber feel with your favorite watering hole. And now you can earn $10 off by simply mentioning the ticket. And if you're an existing member, still mention the ticket for an exclusive offer. Offer valid at Lincoln location only. Scissors and Scotch, located just south of 30th and Yankee Hill, and online at lincoln.scissorscotch.com.
Since 1983, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs have been a trusted and reliable company in Lincoln and the surrounding areas. Fast Mike's handles all sides of construction projects, home renovations, or big cleanouts. With the perfect size dumpster to fit your needs, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs will haul it all. With same-day delivery in Lincoln, affordable rates, and top-notch service,